And he just looks like, Georgette, for the love of mother, would you please let me take care of myself?
Nicholas Cage.
Nicholas.
Brother, please, let me take care of myself.
Brother, I'm a vampire.
You know what it's like to be dragged to this hole?
Piss blood.
Well, you can't really run out of his room. His leg's busted.
Well, he can try.
Now I can
this
is the Nicolas Cage quote.
He can
Who
hobble.
sent you? Who sent you? Sam fucking Beckenbaugh. Anyway,
I got a bunny in a box.
yeah.
Put
All
it
right.
back.
All right.
All right.
How did you?
Alright.
This is all very strange.
I take it that he goes, oh, look, I've already answered every question I could possibly muster myself to. Who's standing closest to the door?
Uh,
Take a
I guess,
bag.
or Sugilite.
Probably either me or Sugilite.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
I'll say me.
Sugilite, I want you to roll for perception.
They try to open the door. I get the feeling there's someone behind me.
You hear, coming down the hallway, the sound, you hear a light tapping sound followed by the click of a pair of boot heels.
No.
Approaching.
I barricade the door just in case with my body.
It's like,
I pretty much just sit down in front of it.
Okay.
And at this point, you can actually hear Pip arguing with someone on the other side of the door.
Okay.
Do all of us hear that, or just Ken?
Just Ken. It's kind of hushed. It's kind of like, it's kind of that whisper arguing.
So to the rest of us, it looks like he just sat down in front of the door.
I go, okay.
It's like, okay, so
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
They just... Kale has stopped asking questions to the 8-foot golem.
Let me guess. The Emperor sent all of you to come talk to me.
What the Colonel said.
that's
Just
yeah.
have to laugh at your suffering.
I did a lot of
Just, yeah, it's just look. Like I said,
It's been an aggravating day.
like I said, we're enjoying this about as much as you are right now. So let's just tell us what we need to tell us what you know, so we can go over and kill whatever it is that did this.
I have to laugh. Why is everyone so mean to the guy? Am I missing something here?
Kale just whispers, "See you later."
He was
Look.
a dick at some point in the game, and now everyone hates him and wants his heart out.
He's like Lucius.
Only he probably doesn't deserve as much as Lucius because he's taking care of his sick sister.
Tuxedo Reaver
And-
just appears in the bar. I will steal this important orb item.
I will shoot you in the face! I was like, why are you here? That is something for another time. No!
Tell me the truth. I could.
Quickly shoot off
Time to
Phelipe's
explain
arm
why I don't have time to
Sugilite.
God damn it, Eldar!
Sugilite, you actually hear someone lightly knocking on the door.
I hear you knocking.
Well, the door is Sugilite's deal. I'm doing nothing.
Do you open it, Sugilite?
Sugilite just goes, who is it?
Huh?
I'm from the Inquisition. I would recommend you open the door.
Wait,
Someone-
one perception. Do I recognize this voice?
I don't know anything about any Inquisition.
I'm gonna roll
So
charisma thing. 1 sec.
I'm going to assume it just sounds like a guy, right?
Just sounds like a guy.
He's like,
1 second.
Like the Inquisition.
can't you just... You at least heard that. Can't you just tell them there's a member of the Inquisition already here?
Well, he might be a higher ranking member.
It's like,
And-
it says, okay, do you have intel on this?
This is just Sugilite that hears this, so.
No.
Oh.
I just overheard.
Yeah, it's like, that means nothing to me.
Just open
Hey,
the
Tommy,
door.
Sugilite.
It'll be easier this way.
That's usually what they say before something bad happens.
So I'm just trying to kind of get a sense of what the Inquisition wants. Just by,
Yeah.
stuff and everything.
Yeah, I kind of turned around.
Based on his tone, it sounds like he's here for the same purpose you guys are, to ask questions.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
You know what? Sugilite, why don't you go ahead and...
Sugilite stands up and says, fine, but if something goes wrong, you have to deal with me.
Sound good?
Should I roll for intimidate or...
You're already a 8-foot golem. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Intimidation bonus.
Intimidation bonus by virtue of being an 8-foot golem.
And the Inquisitor
Let's
walks
see.
in, he's a golem too. It's like, oh, damn it.
Let me show you the depths of my people.
Dice roll. Okay. That's for intimidate.
You intimidate him.
Nice.
Yeah,
yeah.
you do actually intimidate him. He goes, I'll keep that in mind. As the door swings open, a 6'5" man enters the door. He has striking dark gray hair. He is walking with a cane. Based upon there's a slight twinge of a northern accent in his voice, and he has an eye patch.
Kale doesn't say anything yet, but he notes the northern accent.
And walking into the room, he is wearing the traditional inquisitorial robe, except his has, instead of what would normally be like the black adornments, it's white.
So, he's high ranking.
With gold stitched in.
Oh boy.
You did not meet this man the other day, Joe.
Okay, so it's not the.
Well, if Joe didn't meet him, I didn't meet him.
He steps into the room. Allow me to properly introduce myself, everyone. I am Magistrate Valentine Wolfsbane of His Majesty's Inquisition.
Oh, he's the one who sent your letter, Joe.
It's like, you're Valentine?
Yes. I handle the affairs between the Emperor and his Inquisition.
Alright.
Upon this, Reaver sits up straighter in bed.
Wow.
Now,
What's
I
his
believe
sister? How does his sister react?
she just sits there, like, just staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
I was sent here to pick up where Colonel West left off. Now, I believe Reaver was going to be discussing things with you. Gentlemen, Valentine actually takes a seat directly across from Reaver in the room in another chair. Ask your questions. I believe he will answer them for you.
Okay.
Isn't that right,
no-
Reaver? Let's see.
So, can we start
you're rolling for Reaver?
questions?
Reaver just nods his head like shaking his head like up and down like quickly.
So,
Shit.
Okay.
so basically, he doesn't want to, but this guy's clearly here, so he has to.
Okay, I
Is
definitely need to
Song's girlfriend still alive?
get. Okay, so
You don't know that Song has a girlfriend.
How'd you get back alive?
Actually, good question. Let's have him answer that
Get
first.
back alive when everyone else didn't come back. That seems strange.
Nuclear holocaust.
I escaped.
Actually,
Being someone?
Kale interjects first. How?
Wait. Okay.
The
Not only
elves,
how did you escape, but if you escaped, how did you get back without your arm and your leg messed up? It seems like you were bled to death before you got back here.
Weevil?
Reaver.
Okay, whatever. Whatever.
He says, I used my own magic to stop the bleeding temporarily. I had a horse.
How'd you get on
I
the
s-
horse?
I stole
leg
it.
and an arm. It's not easy to get on a horse.
I rode sideways. I rode with my belly across the horse for 3
Oh
days
Jesus!
after
That
they
hurts.
broke my leg. I rode the horse too hard and it fell. Hence how I scraped my face. The elves have some... I used my own magic to unlock my cell. They have cages. They kept us in cages. I got lucky, and the one I was in was apparently older. 6 of us tried to escape. Unfortunately,
So where did you come? So where did they take you? Where were you held up?
we were sent marching in the northern edge of the forest. Us, General Carey's best men, Sir Tara, Sir Tenold, and Sir Jones were amongst my companions.
What are his names? Sakura.
Unfortunately for me and the rest of us, the elves were waiting. There was an ambush. We got ambushed on the trail.
Suddenly, my idea that someone leaked their positions to the elves isn't sounding so far-fetched.
Lieutenants and generals were slaughtered outright. The rest of us were rounded up. Anyone that tried to run was killed.
They were shot?
What about the civilians of Augustium? Is there any of them left?
What, Mike?
Is it?
She says under her breath.
I could not hear you.
Augustium, there were, I don't know, most of us were just rounded. I couldn't tell. I did see, let me see, actually. No, I don't know. I don't know the divisions that were sent to Augustium.
Why were they killing the officers and leaving everyone else?
They said they needed workers.
Who
They
sent
said
the, yeah.
they didn't need strong military minds. They needed mages and workers.
Who sent the note?
Kale.
Who sent this message?
Okay, Kale. Okay, Kale. If you're paying attention, you see this. He suddenly just goes into deep thought. Like he's not saying anything. He's just
I don't
thinking.
pay attention to that.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like, do you know who sent this message?
What message?
The one that said that we need workers, whatnot.
They kept saying it as they were rounding up people.
Oh, the elves. Okay, I see now.
So he wasn't in Augustium, like he was just ambushed in the woods then, so he didn't know who got the bomb.
So the elves are rounding up workers? Or slave workers?
Yep. Someone ask about Terra and Tenold.
Grant's been asking. Oh.
Ask about who?
Sir Terra and Sir Tenold. They're our friends from the first session.
Oh.
Wait, what did Jayson say?
I'm saying Grant, you were asking that a while ago.
Yeah.
But I meant more like them specifically. But okay.
What? He was.
Okay.
All right. Who's asking? Okay, who's asking what?
Kale's in deep thought, so he's not going to be asking.
Well, I just said Song's girlfriend. I didn't know her name.
Song asks.
Hey,
So Tara was kept alive along with Tenold.
Okay, here's a weird question, bud. Do you know anyone who like knew about your formation and your destination?
Yeah, General Carey,
Okay.
General Ash, General Rosalie. The military knew where we were going.
That's weird.
what's the roll for?
He appears to be in a fuck ton of pain, Mike. But he's being honest.
Okay.
He's doing something with it and he's just
You know, yeah. Are you familiar with any other tieflings? Are you familiar with any other tieflings besides Aria?
There are hundreds in the Empire. My tailor is a tiefling.
Killed the tailor.
Ask him if there was a tiefling there, like amongst the elves.
Okay, because I look at Valentine. We actually got some info the other day about potential leak or potential spy.
Reaver actually perks up a little bit and says, there was one tiefling in the camps. He was...
At that, Kale looks to Aria.
He goes, there was one tiefling in the camps. He wore bizarre mage robes.
Oh boy.
Do you know his name?
They never addressed him by name, only by title.
Actually,
Title?
Kale suddenly perks up and asks, "Was the title Necromancer?"
Oh fuck.
No, they
What?
just called him. They just called him the Meg. They just kept calling him the Megus. They kept calling him the Megus.
I look at I
It's
look at John and I look at Kale and says, "So wait, okay, wait, what did you hear about the necromancer?"
It's like, it's like, it's just like, well, it's like. Remember that tiefling we saw when we were running from the goblins.
The elves traditionally don't have a Megus.
Well,
They have a court of
I
wizards.
just now remember that guy.
well, yeah, to answer Joe's question, remember, I'm answering this in character. This is like when we were running from him, all the goblins were referring to him as something that, as far as we know, translates to necromancer.
What do you ask? What are you rolling for on Jayson? The Magus?
Yeah, pretty much what he's talking about.
Nice.
You recall from your own history that, like I said to Mike, that the elves really don't have a Magus. They have a council of wizards. However, you do recall that in your own thoughts, thinking trying to connect the Magus, you do recall from your own history of dealing with the Empire that the Grand Magus of the Caninsian Empire had 2 children at one point.
Yep.
One was a very, very powerful and gifted son who was being groomed to be the next Magus. However, he committed the unspeakable crime of necromancy and was banished from the Empire.
It's like,
You recall that because of his marriage to the tiefling to the tiefling lady Lord Talia or Lady Talia, that
Like,
his
what is-
son was a tiefling.
wait a second. This. Wait, kind of point at Chaos, like, point at like, Reaver's like, okay, hey, who else remembers that? Who else remembers that tiefling from the Goblin mine?
I was just telling you about him. I answered that in character.
Okay, do you remember what he looked like?
I was like, Aria. Actually, Aria, help me out. Actually, I'm gonna roll this
I'm
intelligence.
gonna roll this too.
Yeah.
Are you asking Reaver if he knows what he looks
No,
like?
I'm remembering.
I'm asking Kale and potentially Aria. It's like, do you remember what he looked like?
You do.
At the
Oh boy.
Nat 20 to remember what he looked like.
You do.
All right, can I describe him to Reaver?
You do.
What does he say to that?
Because I don't.
That's him.
He's like, Kale says under his breath in Russian, "Well, fuck me."
It's like, so do you remember him? Do you remember what he looks like?
I just described him, and he
Yeah,
said
Reaver-
that was him.
Yeah.
Okay. Valentine, did you get that?
Every word.
Alright.
Hey, Ever,
What?
You might have met
was
this.
there any kids that they were forcing into like these, into like the prisons?
I don't know. I was captured in. They marched us. They marched us down through the forest. They kept saying we were going to some valley. Some valley, but we weren't exactly sure. I didn't see any children.
Kale is still in deep thought.
It's like, okay. Just,
I'm gonna go up next to Svent
Mhm.
and probably whisper in there. See if you can find out anything related to his sister. It looks like she's sickly. Maybe this may be related in some way of why he's the only one that escaped. Maybe the elves paid him off.
it's like, possibly.
She says to Svent.
It's like, really think him being a survivor is the odd thing about this?
It seems strange how only he'd get away. He's not the most powerful of the group. And the old cage crap, that just sounds fake.
It happens though.
You know,
It happens.
considering you're right about possible. Considering you arrive at possible.
That's why I'm
And
saying
again,
that.
why would he go through the trouble having all his limbs hurt and then but then not be able to pay for
Svent
it?
as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying
and-
it out of character.
It's like,
Ken, are you gonna ask something or?
No.
Pip, yeah. There's Pip, right? Look back at
Yes.
her.
She's not in the room. She's outside.
Yeah, she's out in the hallway.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay, you guys do what. But I'm going to go ask. Aria, do you want to come with?
It's like,
I'm going to ask Pip a few questions.
it's like, actually, is like, actually, while they're doing that, Kale does have one more question.
What?
Okay, I suppose I'll roll charisma on this if you want me to. It's like, Reaver, I know you've been through a lot, and I know you've been through a lot, and I know you probably ran out of there as fast as you could, but do you remember? But I have a feeling we're gonna need to know this. Do you remember, to the best of your ability, approximately where the location of this prison is, and if at all, just from what you remember, do you know what the layout of this place looks like?
I didn't make it to the final camp. I escaped when they reached camp. When they reached, they called it Checkpoint Beta.
Well, that's the case. If that's the case, can you make a guess to where this camp might be? And if not, where's Checkpoint Beta?
Checkpoint Beta was a lumber mill where they forced us to chop down wood.
The elves chopping down trees. That doesn't sound like them.
They said they needed it for some project.
Right.
Okay.
Kale is back in deep thought, so he's not going to be answering any more questions.
All right.
Yeah, but that just threw me for a
That's
loop.
enough.
The elves are making people chop down trees. That's
Mm-hmm.
I at one point threw down and basically told them that it was an insult that they were I decided to be a smart mouth and said they would pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he showed up.
Let's him talk. Kale, let's him talk.
King Ronan arrived
oh fuck.
to do general inspection.
Oh boy.
He said he asked the prison ward. He asked the warden who I was. They said, "Gun mage, sir."